You've heard all the buzz about artificial intelligence, right? Well, it's changing just about everything, especially inside our schools. And now the Philippines Department of Education, DepEd for short, has just dropped a brand new rulebook for it. So let's dive in and break down what these new AI policies actually mean for students and teachers on the ground. And look, this isn't some sci-fi futuristic idea. It's happening right now. Students are turning to AI to help them figure out tricky homework, and teachers are using it to brainstorm new and exciting lesson plans. AI is already here, and that's precisely why having clear rules of the road has become so important. So that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? How do we use this incredible technology without, running into major problems? Well, DepEd thinks it has an answer. They've rolled out this whole new policy, and we're going to break down exactly what's in it. Okay, so at the heart of this entire policy is a really simple but pretty powerful idea. It's all based on risk. So instead of just a blanket ban or a total free-for-all, DepEd has created a framework that sorts AI uses into 4 distinct levels. The easiest way to think about it is like a traffic light. You've got your minimal risk tools, that's the green light, you're good to go. Then there's limited risk, which is kind of like a yellow light. You can proceed, but you need to be careful and transparent about it. High risk is like a flashing red light. You can move forward, but only with some really strict safety measures. And finally, unacceptable risk. That is a hard stop, a big red light. These uses are completely off limits. And here it is, the official breakdown for students. This chart lays everything out, what's allowed and what's not. You can see the minimal risk stuff on the right, and then all the way on the other side, the unacceptable risk uses. This is basically the new guide that's going to shape how every student interacts with AI. Okay, so that's the theory, but what does this framework actually look like in the real world? Let's get practical and break down the everyday do's and don'ts for both students and for teachers. For students, you've got a green light for tools that help you learn. Think of them as smart study buddies, perfect for grammar checks, automatically formatting citations, or even recommending some good study music. But the policy draws a very clear, very hard line on what's forbidden. You absolutely cannot use AI that tries to manipulate your feelings, gives you a biased version of history, or tries to make huge life decisions for you, like choosing your senior high school track. And hey, it's really important to remember these rules aren't just for students. As you can see right here, there's a whole parallel set of guidelines for teachers too. This makes sure that AI is being used responsibly from the front of the classroom as well. So for teachers, AI is basically being framed as a powerful assistant. It's allowed for things like drafting lesson plans, creating quiz questions, or even helping design slide layouts. The idea is to automate some of that time-consuming work so teachers can focus more of their energy on, actually teaching. Now, when you put these two charts next to each other, a really important principle becomes clear, especially when you look at that unacceptable risk category. Notice how for both students and teachers, AI is strictly forbidden for things like social scoring, systems that rank people. It's also banned for pushing political agendas or manipulating emotions. The ethical lines here are exactly the same for everybody. So we have the rules, but how does DepEd make sure that they're actually being followed? Well, that's where this next part comes in. It's a whole system that's built on transparency and accountability. And the key to this whole thing is the AI Use Declaration form. It's pretty simple. If a student uses an AI tool in their schoolwork, they have to fill this out. They have to declare which tool they used, what they used it for, and even the prompts they typed in. This whole process brings AI use out of the shadows and right into the open. And just listen to this quote pulled directly from the form. It really says it all. I used AI tools only to support my learning and not to replace my own thinking. I take full accountability for the final output. It's basically a promise, right? You can get help from AI, but you and you alone own the final work. And again, this principle of accountability doesn't just stop with the students. It extends to teachers too. They have their very own declaration form. If they use AI to create lesson materials, they also have to document and declare it. The language in the teacher's declaration is so important. They have to confirm that AI was used to enhance their materials, and this is the crucial part, that they checked and validated everything using their own professional expertise. The AI is a tool, but the human teacher always remains the expert in charge. So, when you put it all together, you've got the risk levels, the specific rules, the declaration forms. What's the big picture here?
What's the ultimate goal of this new policy?
It all boils down to one simple idea: fostering responsible AI use. This policy isn't about stopping technology or being afraid of it. It's about building a smart, safe framework to use AI's power, to use it as a tool that actually enhances education, all while making sure human judgment and academic integrity always stay in the driver's seat. And all of this leaves us with one big question to think about. This policy is a huge, vital first step, for sure, but AI is evolving faster than anyone can really predict. So, as these tools get smarter and become an even bigger part of our daily lives, you have to wonder, how will these rules need to change to keep pace with the future of learning?